the rest of what the EC has said.
Yes, Padmaja, I'll walk our viewers through the operative part of the order first. And it says that the party name Shiv Sena and the party symbol bow and arrow will be retained by the petitioner faction, which is the Shinde faction. The name of Bala Saheb Banchi Shiv Sena and symbol of the two swords and shield, which was allotted to the petitioner, that is again Shinde camp, by way of the interim order dated 11/10/2022 of the commission in this dispute case, will henceforth be frozen with immediate effect and will not be used. And it says, in view of the ongoing by-elections for 205 Chinchwad and 215 Kasba Pet of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, the respondent faction, which is the Uddhav Thackeray faction, which was allotted the name Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray and symbol of flaming torch as per the interim order dated 10/10/2022 of the commission, in this dispute case is hereby allowed to retain the said name and the symbol till completion of the said by-election. Now, while passing this crucial order, the poll panel was also stressed on internal party democracy. I'll quickly read the 135 para of that order. It says the requirement for a written constitution of political parties and an undertaking to the effect that such constitution adheres to the norms of democracy prescribed in the Constitution of India is meant to promote inner party democracy. The need for such democratic organizational structure of a political party is often realized not in the heydays, but when an internal dispute arises. An organization ought to have its own mechanism to deal with internal disputes. A political organization that is performing the difficult role of aggregating the often differing aspirations of the people that it seeks to represent by democratic contest ought to give much more importance to internal democratic structures which have the ability to resolve disputes democratically. So poll panel here clearly saying that internal party democracy should be strengthened, and if it is done, then such internal disputes that arise within the party can be resolved.
All right, so one is the political angle and one is the angle of what the Election Commission has now said. Let me go across to Rishabh now for the latter. Rishabh, what are your sources within the Election Commission saying about the charges being made right now that this was done in an ad hoc and some even insinuating malified fashion by the EC? Rishabh, can you hear me? Yes, go on.
Yes, this is a setback for Uddhav Thackeray faction here. If you see, Padmaja, this is definitely a big setback for Uddhav Thackeray faction. This order clearly states that the party was functioning in an undemocratic manner, and now the bigger faction, which is Eknath Shinde faction, which has the majority of MLAs from the erstwhile United Shiv Sena, will now have the official name of Shiv Sena and the official symbol of bow and arrow. So this is a big setback for Uddhav Thackeray. And as Arunil was pointing out, that Uddhav Thackeray camp might knock the doors of the apex code, but here Election Commission will definitely have a say. It's an autonomous body, and this order from Election Commission will definitely impact what the arguments would be in apex code from now. So a big setback for Uddhav Thackeray, and the observations that Election Commission has made will be used by Eknath Shinde faction in the Supreme Court as well, whenever that case is heard.
And it's also interesting, Arunil, what ramifications this could have on the politics of Maharashtra, especially the impending MCD elections. BMC, pardon me, elections. What do you foresee?
Well, Padmaja, there are many corporators from the original Shiv Sena. They were undecided. For them, the bow and arrow symbol is the ultimate. I've spoken to many of these corporators, and they were basically saying that whoever gets the bow and arrow symbol will certainly have an edge. And the repercussion of this decision, considering the fact that it is in the favor of CM Shinde camp, many of these corporators, many of the Shiv Senics who were undecided, who were basically on the edge, they might move towards the CM Shinde camp now, because they have always contested, like since the last 3 decades, they have contested on the same bow and arrow symbol. It is the Shiv Senics who recognize this symbol as one of the symbols from their own family only. They have depended on this symbol, so it is a major victory for CM Shinde camp, one can say. However, However, Uddhav Thackeray and his leaders are repeatedly saying that this is complete injustice against them, which has been done by the Election Commission, because the matter was being heard in the Supreme Court, and they are going to knock the doors of the Apex Court against the Election Commission's decision.
And also, the observations, like we said, that have been made about the functioning of the Shiv Sena so far, that is going to be very, very interesting, what reaction we get from the Uddhav Thackeray camp on that. Take us through more of that, Ziad.
Yes, Padmaja, as you were mentioning that, very scathing comments have been made by the poll panel. In para 136 of the order, it says, in the absence of such democratic internal structures, remember the poll panel, I read out the portion wherein it stressed that the party's internal democratic structures have to be strengthened, internal party democracy has to be strengthened. Now, in furtherance to that, it says, in the absence of such democratic internal structures, internal disputes are bound to create rifts and factions, leading to determination of the question by the Election Commission under the symbols order. However, by the time a dispute comes to the Commission, the party constitutions are often seen to have been mutilated to undemocratically appoint people from a coterie as office bearers without any election at all. Such party structures fail to inspire confidence of the Commission, and the Commission is forced to ignore the numerical strength of opposing factions in the organizational wing altogether, despite being conscious of its importance and role as the building block of the party. This seemingly unjust situation is often a creation of the party itself, which failed to create a robust constitution. Very, very important observations in the poll panel.
Well, they failed to create a robust constitution, and this is coming from the Election Commission, no less. So we will take you through more of that order as well. Atul Bhatkalkar of the BJP is with us on the phone line. Your first reaction, sir?
It is a very good decision, right decision, and it is followed the letter and spirit of the law. Because legacy is not only biological legacy. Legacy is an intellectual thing, especially with regard to the Hindu Hriday Samrat Babasaheb Thackeray, who propagated Hindutva in Maharashtra politics right from his inspection. And so, Eknath Shinde rightly claimed the intellectual legacy of the Hindu Hriday Samrat Babasaheb Thackeray, and Eknath Shinde alone not only claim this intellectual legacy, 90% of the Shiv Sena's legislative party and official wing, they also come along with the Eknath Shinde, and that's why Eknath Shinde rightfully claiming Shiv Sena and its symbol. It is with the Hindutva, and so he is claiming Hindutva. Uddhav Thackeray abandoned Hindutva completely, which is the core philosophy of Hindu Hriday Samrat Babasaheb Thackeray. Not only that, Uddhav Thackeray tolerated insult of Hindu Hriday Samrat Babasaheb Thackeray and Veer Savarkar. And that's why this decision is a very right decision, and it will strengthen the democratic process and faith in the intellectual issues in the country.
Mr. Bhatkalkar, I want you to please stay on the line for a minute, because here is what Sanjay Raut has said. They seem to suggest that the EC was under pressure from your party to come up with this decision. Let's listen in to Mr.